Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Haverhill Town Council Planning Working Party.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, yes. That's the...
I can't hear anyone.
Oh, right. Right. What about you, Harry? Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you okay, yes.
Yeah, I can hear you as well.
It might be that Alistair will just log out and come back.
Let me try and... I'll move to a different machine. I'm sorry about this.
Okay.
Chair, can I suggest we deal with the first couple of items on the agenda while we're waiting?
Okay. Is everyone okay with that? Yeah? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Haverhill Town Council Planning Working Party. Item number 1, to note that this working party has no delegated authority and may only make recommendations to full council. Urgent actions may be taken under delegated authority given to the clerk and to the chair. Thank you. Item 2, apologies for absence, Vicky.
Yes, Councillor Bruce Davidson.
Thank you. Item number 3, declaration of pecuniary interest and request for dispensations. Anyone? Councillor Brown?
Yeah, the next item being discussed, the land is owned by my business landlord, so I'll step out. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Now's your thing then, it's item 4.
Sorry, I'm just trying to sort this out.
Okay. Are you with us now, Alistair?
Yes, I am with you. Yeah.
Right, good.
Harry, could you share the presentation for me? I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay, I'll introduce this item first, and then you can come in. Okay.
Yes.
Item 4, which is the Acorn bioenergy proposal for new anaerobic digestion plant at Spring Grove Farm off the A1307 near the epicentre of Haverhill. Right, can you introduce yourselves, please, before you start?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, Harry, do you want to introduce yourself first?
Yeah, so my name's Harry Gillam. I work for Instinctive Partners. We are helping Acorn Bioenergy with the public consultation process, engaging with parish and town councils like yourselves, with people from West Suffolk District Council, as well as the general public, and obviously responding to emails and phone calls that we have been receiving over the course of the past month or so.
Thank you.
And my name is Alistair Veach. I've got a background in agriculture originally, and then I joined Thames Water as a graduate, worked in wastewater engineering, and for the last 15 years have developed AD sites, and was head of business development for Biogen, which developed a lot of food waste plants, very different to what we're proposing here. But I've got a long track record in this industry. So Harry, can you share the presentation?
Yeah, have you just sent me the presentation, Alistair? If you can just, yeah, just.
The problem is it's too big to send. That's the problem I've got. I'll delete this photo, and hopefully that will make it easier to send. Okay, I should be almost there.
Alistair, is it the same one as the presentation for Withersfield Parish Council?
It is very close to it. It's
okay. Do we want to use that one?
Yeah,
instead?
let's use that. It's so close.
It's essentially the same thing. So you just have to apologise that it's got presentation to Withersfield Parish Council on this. So we're just using a previous one that we used for Withersfield, which is essentially the same. So let me just share this screen. Can people see that? Hold on.
Not yet.
That one?
No, not yet. No.
Share. There we go.
Yes, we go.
I'm used to using Teams. We haven't used Zoom for a while.
Yes, that's
there we
trouble.
go. All right. Okay.
So,
Alistair, over to you, and I'll just.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, as I said,
Councillor Stitchcombe, hold on a minute, please. Councillor Stitchcombe. No, you're muted, Councillor.
Sorry, can you maximise that view, Harry? Because you've got a lot of border wasted around that. I mean, like full screen it if possible. Thank you.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get rid of.
Use that little arrow just to the left of the word convert to. That's it.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, that's good, Harry.
Okay.
Great. Fantastic. So, yeah, if we go to the next slide, Harry. So who are Acorn Bioenergy? Basically, we're a startup team with a lot of experience within the group of anaerobic digestion, but we don't have a track record ourselves. We were set up in 2021 to utilise
sorry, it's gone again.
To utilise the we've got accreditation for 4 injection hubs across the UK, one in Portsmouth, one in Banbury, and one in Milton Keynes, to take in 5,000 meters cubed per hour of biomethane into those particular hubs. And that's a lot of biomethane. So the plant that we're looking to provide here will produce about 1,200 meters cubed per hour. So that sort of puts it into context. So basically, we'd be looking to 4 plants to utilise the Milton Keynes hub, which will be the hub that the gas will be going to from here. I should say, that we've recently been taken over by a Spanish equity company called Q Energy, who are going to provide the money to build out the schemes that we're looking to do at the moment. So what we're trying to do is to try to generate biogas from anaerobic digestion facilities and move it then by truck to these injection points. There's a desperate need for gas at the moment. The gas that we will produce will go into the national grid as part of the gas grid, and it'll be utilised via power stations to produce electricity, and in people's homes for their heating and for their cooking. So that's the basic concept of what we're doing. Okay, Harry, go on to the next slide. Yeah. So what is anaerobic digestion? Basically, it's very similar to how a cow operates. You put feedstocks and water in the front end. You provide heat. The heat is at 37 degrees centigrade, between 37 and 40 degrees, so very similar to the temperature of a cow. And out of the back end, you get biogas. And biogas is made up of about 60% methane and about 40% carbon dioxide. So our aim will be to refine that biogas via membrane technology and to produce both carbon dioxide and biomethane that will truck out of the facility at Springbarn. We'll also produce digestates. Digestates are a valuable fertilizer that will replace carbon-derived ammonium nitrate and mined phosphate and potash. So that's very, very simple process. There are no other wastes as a result of what we're doing. There's no other byproducts. That's everything that we get. There's no nasty waste to come out of the back end. Okay, Harry? Yeah. So apologise, this is a little small. It just shows where the facility is. The circles around it just show scale. No particular reason. Basically, the facility is just to the west of Haverhill, and on the A1037. We chose the location because of its proximity to the main road, and also where it is. It's reasonably hidden, nestled in the woods that are there. It also provides good track access to the estates locally, which will provide feedstock for the facility. The planning application will go in about in mid-November. So we're doing the consultation at the moment. We've spoken to Withersfield Parish Council already, and we had an exhibition there already. Okay, Harry, next slide. So the actual facility itself, the photo on the right just gives some sort of context of what it sort of looks like. The site itself is 11 hectares, of which actually the majority is a large proportion is down to planting to increase the biodiversity net gain for the facility. It's 11 hectares in total. What we do is we store feedstocks in the silage clamps. So on the left-hand side of the photo, you can see silage clamps. So these are silage clamps that you might find in a dairy farm. Very well, absolutely the same. These will store a variety of silages, including maize, rye, and grass silages as well. We'll also have a sealed shed for manures, and then we will bring that material in into a feed hopper, and then move it into the covered domed tanks that you can see there. So those are the digesters themselves, and they're like the rumen of the cow. They're maintained at 37 degrees centigrade, and they feed the bugs naturally found within those materials. It's effectively like a composting operation without air. They feed on that material, and they produce the gas, the biogas that's collected in the domes, and then we can take that gas and then refine it up and clean it up, and to send it into the various sales functions. So that'll be sold into the gas grid, as we said, but this carbon dioxide will be cleaned up to food grade carbon dioxide and be used in the food industry. The facility that we've shown there is on the Euston Estate near Thetford in Suffolk. I know that some councillors have already been there on the back of the presentations and discussions that we've already had. I know Councillor Stevens has been on site there already, and was pleasantly surprised, if you like, at the lack of odour that this kind of facility does produce. I should say that there are lots of different types of anaerobic digestion facilities in the UK. There are 650 across the country. Large number are in sewage works, which is where my background, where I started. But there's also a number of plants that produce, that deal with food waste. And these are the ones that tend to be odorous. So it's a food waste plant, for example, on the A505 near Baldock in Hertfordshire, not very far away, that is particularly odorous. This is a very different type of facility to the facility that we're looking to produce. Okay, Harry.
Shall I move on, Alistair?
Yep, that'd be great. So this is an actual plan of the site. To the left of the plan are the silage clamps, so that's where the silage will be stored, and we'll store up to 45,000 tonnes of silage on site. The green solid blocks to the bottom of the site, bottom of the plan, are the straw sheds and the manure shed. So we'll take in straw as well and use that as a feedstock in the facility. The round circles are the digesters themselves. The green square just below the digesters is the feed hoppers, so that's where the material will be fed into the facility. And then coming to the right, you've got the gas cleanup equipment there. You've got the light blue area is a clean water lagoon, and then at the top right are basically the digestate storage lagoons. So these are lagoons which take about 10,000 meters cubed of digestate each, and they're covered. So they've got, they're sealed obviously for ingress downwards, but they're covered with a neoprene liner so that animals can't get onto the site, can't get into the digestate, and odour can't get out of the facility either. As I said, odour will be strictly controlled. We'll operate with a permit with the Environment Agency, and it'll be monitored on site by the team there, and we're confident that odour will not be an issue. We'll produce, when the planning permission goes in, we will produce an odour report to show us how we'll mitigate the odour effects. But we're confident that you should not be able to smell the facility outside the boundary of the site.
I'll move on.
So, potential benefits. Clearly, what we're trying to do is tackle the climate emergency. We should say, and this presentation doesn't have it, I'm afraid, but the reason we're doing this really is to produce the biomethane that the country needs at the moment. Clearly, country needs gas to produce electricity. Between 40% and 60% of the electricity that we consume as a nation comes from gas, and consequently we're desperately short of it due to the issues with the war in Ukraine. This facility will help tackle energy security. The back of it will be able to have significant benefits to local agriculture. The land around here is quite clayey, and consequently over the last 20 or 30 years, the organic matter levels within the soils have been decreasing. The digestate that we will produce will be used to not only feed the plant, the crops that we need, but will also assist with producing food crops that the farms will use. We envisage that our feedstocks will fit into a rotation within the agricultural community. local estates we've spoken to envisage that they will grow 1 year of silage for 6 years of food production. So we'll fit into a sort of 1 in 6, 1 in 7 rotation on their farms. And consequently, that will allow their increased agriculture has been really looking for a different break crop over the last 5 years or so. Oilseed rape has been grown previously, but with the ban in nematode pesticides to control pollen beetle, oilseed rape is now becoming very, very difficult to establish. So consequently, on the back of that, agriculture is looking for something to provide an alternative, and we can provide that through the break crops that we're looking to do. It's an environmentally friendly fuel for HGVs, so all our gas trucks that move in and out of the site will run off biomethane. It's obviously a carbon neutral fuel, and also has lower particulates than diesel, so the impact is significantly lower. We'll have a 15% improvement in biodiversity on site. We'll create 14 to 15 roles on the site. So these will be roles that are created as a result of it. Have 5 people working at 4 to 5 people working at any one time on the site. And then there'll be other roles associated with the facility as well. We'll provide cheap carbon dioxide to local businesses. At the moment, carbon dioxide is being imported from Europe on the back of the shutting down of the fertilizer plants in Immingham. So consequently, carbon dioxide is very expensive and very difficult to procure. So we will provide a significant proportion of that carbon dioxide. Will be available for opportunity for educational trips, and we'll employ local firms wherever possible to assist with maintenance and other parts of the facility. Okay, Harry. So traffic movements obviously is a major factor that we're looking to deal with. The site would require 3 gas trucks out per day, 2 for carrying biomethane and 1 for travelling carbon dioxide. And these would take the main road, the A1037, out towards the M11, and then would follow routes predominantly to Milton Keynes, which is our gas injection hub. On average, the site would see 11 feedstock deliveries per day, which equates to 1 every hour. But that's an average, so silage will be produced from May through till October. And during the winter months, that would be significantly less. Although in our planning application, we've assessed that all the material will go out onto the A1037. In practice, a large proportion of the feedstock will actually come in through the farm tracks from the north, from land to the north. We will also take out 9.6 digestate movements per day. These will go out throughout the year. One thing we are doing, and since this presentation was put together, we're actually going to put in planning for a pipeline to run up to the middle of Thurlow Estate. So that will mean that the liquid digestate movements, which is the majority of these, will actually not be based around the site. There is the potential for them to come onto the road network, but it's potentially unlikely that a lot of them will. This will be detailed within the planning application that will come in November. So we've done a detailed assessment of the land up to the north, and that'll be factored in. So these movements that you're seeing here, so the 11.4 and the 9.6 added together, will be significantly less than that when the planning application actually comes in. Should say that digestate and feedstock deliveries are a combination of HGV and tractor movements. We're finding that a lot of farmers now are wanting to move away from tractors and trailers to HGVs to move material. The reason for that really is the fact that you can get 28 tons of material in an HGV and only 16 tons in a tractor and trailer. So any sort of movements that are coming from slightly farther away will come in a truck. And a lot of the estates around in the area of Suffolk are now moving to truck movements on the whole. Should also say that obviously, although we are a significant amount of movements, we'll actually be replacing movements that would have happened anyway. So a lot of the agricultural movements that are taking place on the road network existing at the moment will be replaced as a result of what we're doing. So that should be factored into the assessment. But what we've put here is the total trips per day, but clearly there will be less agricultural traffic on the road as a result of what we're doing. Okay, Harry?
Yep.
So we did have a presentation, well, an exhibition to Withersfield at the village hall, and we've also spoken to the parish council, and we had a large number of people came to the exhibition, and it was very positively attended. Okay. So just going back to the actual application itself, it will take place in mid-November. It will include all the pipeline and the digestate lagoon that we're looking to put in place. So the traffic movements will be slightly lower than we've put already. I should say that we've also heard back from Suffolk County Council that we will be putting in an environmental impact assessment as well. So just to close, we're obviously looking to produce 1,200 meters cubed of biomethane. That's enough to heat 7,000 homes or fuel 270 HGVs running all the time. During the life of the project, we will result in, each year we'll take 4,700 tons of carbon dioxide out of the system, and we'll, due to the fact that our biomethane is carbon negative, we'll have a yearly saving of 26,000 tons of carbon dioxide overall for the whole project. So that's the equivalent of planting over 1 million trees or taking 17,000 cars off the road.
Yeah, I think that's
what I will do is I'll send you Harry will send you the updated presentation. So apologies for the IT glitch that we had earlier, but the present presentation that we're looking to do is a more up to date format. I should add that in terms of the thank you very much for hearing the presentation, and I'm sorry for the IT glitch.
Thank you, Alistair. Can you take that down now so I can see everyone, please?
I will.
And I'll come to questions. Okay, is there any questions from anyone at all? Councillor Dave Smith?
You mentioned there's been on average 9.6 digestate movements daily. Can you quantify that? That doesn't really mean anything. How much is that? And you say every day on average is, say, 10 a day.
Yes, so it's approximately 10 a day. So that will some of that we produce 2 types of digestate: a solid fibre digestate that will go out throughout the year. We're also producing a liquid digestate, about 45,000 cubes. The planning application will have that in detail. As I said, we'll have 30,000 meters cubed of capacity on site to store liquid digestate, and we'll have 22,000 cubic meters of storage at the secondary site where it's piped to. That will equate to more than 100% of the output of the plant. So the liquid digestate is applied to growing crops as required, so tends to go out when plants tend to need it. We'll take the material out in line with the government guidance for fertilizer application, which is RB 209. So consequently, those movements will happen when the fertilizers are actually physically required. The solid digestate will be taken out throughout the year and will be stockpiled on farms to be spread as and when required.
So stockpiled in the open air.
In the open air, yeah. It's a very low odor, you know. Totally.
And so you're saying be used as and when, so it could be every day of the year that it's being spread. You say it's not a low odor.
No, it's unlikely to be. No, it wouldn't be spread every day of the year. There are regulations where it'd be spread. So it'd be spread at the same time as farmyard manure would normally be spread in farming operations.
And do you reckon that all this will be used on the Thurlow estate, or will there be, to make it viable, would there be people buying in from outside farms, and how would that be moved if that's the case? Yeah,
there will be. Thurlow estate will not provide all the feedstock for the site. There will be other, although they are the largest provider into the facility.
I'm thinking more of the going outwards, just the going out. I mean, is that just going to be used on the estate, or is that?
No, it will be used. It will be used elsewhere. So there will be a proportion going out on the A1037 out to lab.
But that's at the point of it being produced. I'm thinking about the stuff that's stockpiled. Will that then possibly be?
Oh, I see. No, that will go out all the time. So that will be stockpiled. That will move out all the time. We do have storage for about 1,200 tons in enclosed building on the site, and then it'll be moved out.
Sure. So I've just cut off my there. So you talk about using different crops that are not normally used. I mean, I think you mentioned maize. Yeah. Growing maize. I mean, it's not I don't really know anywhere else in the area that actually grows maize. That just seems a strange choice of crop.
Yes. I mean, I don't think there'll be much maize grown. There won't be much graze grown on the Thurlow estate, for example. Maize is a crop that needs a certain soil type, and it doesn't work well with heavy clay. So on the whole, it'll be grown on other estates and other sites, but maize can be grown. There just isn't a requirement in the area. There aren't many dairy farms, so consequently, it's not grown very commonly. And also there aren't many AD plants in the vicinity. That's partly due to the fact that the grid connections aren't available, so that on the whole, there hasn't been a large number of AD plants locally to the area.
I was just one last point really. Do you have a plan B? I mean, you're probably aware there is obviously a lot of local objection to this. Have you put all your eggs in one basket for this site, or have you looked at other sites within the estate which will be more acceptable, shall we say?
We have looked at other sites, but we believe this to be the best one, and we're going to progress with this one.
Okay, thanks.
Councillor Liz Smith and then Councillor Burns.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, with the amount of traffic that will be used, I mean, obviously that area, that part of the A1307 could be a potential blocking point, if you like, hold up point, because it's near the roundabout. And I'm just thinking about during commuting times, particularly, that could be very busy. Have you got any plans when you put the plan application in to perhaps move your vehicles at times of day where it isn't?
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly, that'll be part of the plan that we do in reality. We'll try and move outside of the peak vehicle times.
yeah, because I say that road is a problem anyway. So yeah,
no,
thank you.
accept that.
Yeah, just on that, just before I come to Councillor Burns, just on that particular point, it would be best if there was no right turn, because then they can go down to the roundabout and then go around the roundabout and go up the A1307 that way, maybe. Councillor Burns?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the presentation. It was very interesting, not what I was expecting it to be, based on what I've read on social media and everything. Couple of 2 or 3 questions actually. From what I was looking at the where it is laid out, am I right in thinking it's behind what is currently a lorry lay-by? Where the house is?
Yeah, there's a lay-by not very far away. Yes.
Is that in the way, if you know what I mean? Is it?
No, we'll it's not, no.
Oh, okay, I couldn't really see very well on the plans. That's fine. Because obviously there was a house there as well, which I think is still occupied.
Yes, so that's going to be a part of our site. So that's going to be our manager's office.
Okay,
so we'll run the site from that facility.
Because at one point, lorries came under a lot of complaints because of people living there, the noise. So if it's not going to be used as a residential area, that's fine. Okay. It's just been mentioned about the traffic. I mean, in terms of, I don't know, 20 vehicles a day, by the sounds of it, 20, 24 vehicles a day, it's nothing compared to the 360 that's going to Kalina every day, to and from. So it's not a major problem. My only question, actually, coming from a marine background and working on tankers, 45,000 ton is a hell of a lot of material. Are you telling me there's going to be 45? Is that what you said? 45,000?
Yeah, 45,000 tons of silage feedstocks. Yes.
Actually stored on site at any one time.
Well, that's
roughly. I'm not saying I'm not holding
it won't. Yeah, you won't actually ever have 45,000 because you'll be using it all the time, and it'll come in at various stages. So you'll have. We do have the option of storing 45,000 tons.
Okay, and how high is this going to be? This 45,000 ton in the.
So it's about 4.5 meters.
Okay, so 45,000 ton are known from oil tankers, spread out only 4.5 meters, 5 meters high, is a hell of a large area.
Yes, I mean if you.
I'm not asking you to put the plan up, but
oh right, yeah. I mean it is a big area, so it's the biggest part of the site really. It's the silage.
Yeah, so there's a lot of surface areas. What I'm getting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll capture that water. We need that water to go back into the system.
No, I understand that. No, I understand. Yeah. And what's the annual throughput of input and output, if you like?
I must admit, it's about 85,000 tons circa coming in, and it's a very equivalent amount of digestate going out as well.
Okay. And what about these CO2 side of things?
So the CO2, we'll capture all the CO2 that's produced.
Do you know roughly what you're expecting?
Yes. So we'll capture about 800 standard meters cubed of carbon dioxide every hour.
Every hour. Okay.
Every hour. Yeah. So the output of I must admit I don't have the total.
No, it's okay. No, I'm just interested in.
Yeah, but certainly we're capturing a lot. I think it's 21,000 tons.
And is that CO2 when you ship it? Is it compressed in any form?
Yeah, so it comes as liquefied natural gas.
Yeah, so it comes out as liquid rather than gas.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, the biomethane actually comes out as CNG, compressed natural gas.
Yeah, because CNG. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know those terminology. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. That's you've answered my question. Thank you.
Can I just say that any questions that we were not necessarily able to answer today, we can always send it to Vicky after the meeting, and then you can obviously share them.
Okay, thank you. I've got a question. When it's the time of the year, especially when I lived on a certain part of Haverhill, silage used to be spread around the fields, and it was terrible smell. I wonder if that's the sort of smell that type of silage that you'll be having, that sort of silage that normally farmers spread on the fields.
No, well, I think silage is the actual material, the sort of the grass and the stuff that we will use as the feedstock. It's the digestate that goes out the back end is the fertilizer aspect that we'd be looking to spread. One of the beauties of the system actually is we take in what farmyard manures that would be spread by the farmers, and we actually take the odor out of it effectively. We take the carbon out of that material. So we're utilizing the carbon to produce the carbon dioxide and the methane, and consequently that lowers the odor of the material significantly. So consequently, that's one of the benefits really from an agricultural point of view, is that you're not spreading odorous materials. You're spreading much cleaner, less odorous digestate.
Yeah, but you'll be having the silage put on to into the largest amount, 75,000 tons with it, with a sheet cover over the top, won't you?
45,000 tons will come in.
45,000.
Yeah. But silage isn't actually that odorous. It
used to be when I smelled it on the fields.
Well, you would never spread silage on the field.
Oh, right.
You wouldn't do that. It's a manure you would spread on the field. Silage is too valuable to spread on the field.
So it's manure I'm talking about then.
Yeah, farmyard manure. Yeah,
that shows you how much I know about it. But it's that was sort of what I was thinking of as far as the smell was concerned.
Yeah. No.
Right. Okay. Any Colin?
Thank you, Chair. I thought it might be useful if, whilst we've got Alistair and Harry here, if they could refer to some of the comments, etc., and objections that were on the Suffolk County Council website from residents, etc. A lot of those, as well, were about HGV movements, which you've covered, but and we've just touched on the concerns over odour.
Yeah.
You kind of obviously favourably compared your plans with those of others, such as the one on the A505. How much of the concerns of the public are impossible, in your opinion, in that it just simply won't be the case? And how much of it is down to your management of the site? So, some of the reason you get odour, you said, was because of food waste and other things that are naturally more odorous. Does your plant simply not work on that sort of feedstock, or is that a matter of choice, and it'll work on any old feedstock that you care to put in it, and it'll be by permit or your own management control? If you could, I think it'd be useful for people who may well be watching this to understand that.
So the planning application that we're putting in is for the type of facility that we're looking to produce. We won't be able to change the use of the facility without going through a full planning application again. So that's the first thing to stress. So we can't just change it into a food waste plant. In some ways, you could, the tanks themselves can be used to digest anything, but to take in food waste comes with a series of controls, the Animal Byproducts Order regulations. So our facility will not be set up to deal with Animal Byproducts Order material. So animal byproduct material is basically curbside collected material that you put in your food waste bin. That might contain meat, waste food, anything that we eat or discard. That requires that you have a whole level of control around that. So the animal byproducts regulations were set up to stop the release of pork into the environment, which caused foot and mouth back in several times. It came from a contaminated pork sandwich. So those regulations are in place to stop that. We're just simply not in any way trying to comply with those regulations at all. If we took in any food waste, we'd be operating outside our permit, operating outside our planning permission, and would be immediately shut down. So it's just not something that we would do. And just to go on, so my background's actually food waste AD. One of the issues that at the moment, there are enough AD plants to deal with all the food waste that the UK produces. So there would be, when I started in food waste AD, you were paid £50 a tonne to take the material. And now the plants that are operating are paying £10 to £20 a tonne the other way. So they were being paid and now they're paying to take the material in. So it's not a business model that works for us.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Just on the CO2 part, is there any sort of, if anything escapes, is there an alarm that tells you that the CO2 is escaping? Yeah, I mean, firstly, yes, there will be. Clearly, we don't want it escaping. It's a very valuable resource, so we want it. But carbon dioxide. Most AD plants, most old scale AD plants actually vent the carbon dioxide to the atmosphere anyway. So it's not harmful to people if you vent it. It's not at levels that cause issues to us breathing it, if you like. But obviously we don't want that to happen, and we will obviously alarm that so that we don't have releases of carbon dioxide. Right, Councillor Stitchcombe and then Councillor Dave Smith.
Thank you, Chair. Alistair, you said it's not hazardous. It is fatal if someone is drowning. If you have a mass release of pressurized liquefied gas, it is utterly fatal. It'll kill your crew on the site first.
Oh,
and
yes.
then
Yeah,
people in the surroundings.
I meant
a gradual leak.
Yes, I meant if it was a leak that would affect neighbours, if you like. Obviously, a leak on site would be incredibly serious, and we will. Anaerobic digestion is a very well understood technology. The UK has been doing AD for a long time. In fact, Exeter used to biomethane to power its streetlights back in the 1880s. So it's and the safety controls are well understood through it, and obviously will comply with all the gas regulations. I should also add that we're in partnership with SGN, who are the gas network operator for the Banbury and Milton Keynes site, and we'll actually be injecting the gas on. They'll be our landlord on that particular operation.
Councillor Dave Smith.
Yeah, talking about, you say you have no plans to sort of convert it to like food waste plant. You mentioned that previously it was profitable and currently it's not. But what's to say it's not going to change about again?
As I said, we'd have to be
more attractive to do that. And my concern, I suppose, is somewhere down the line. I mean, you say you've just been taken over by a Q something or other, an asset management company. What's to say they sell out to another company who has other plans? I'm thinking down. Obviously, it's all hypothetical, but the thing is, it is possible to convert the plant into food waste.
Yeah, it is possible, but as I said, you'd have to have a food waste reception facility built on the site. So you'd have to a significant, massive retrofit to do it. One, you'd have to find space on site to do it, because you need a big building, big reception building to manage that process. It's really just not part of our plans at all. And as I said, if the future, Acorn is sold, or future management manage the site, they would have to come with a full planning application to do that, and you would have the opportunity to discuss that with them in the future.
Okay, right. Is there any more questions at all? No? Right. Thank you, Alistair, and thank you, Harry.
Thank you.
We look forward to your planning application.
Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, can you let Councillor Brown in, please? Colin? Or Vicky, is it? Colin?
He's on his way.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Right, item 5, minutes of the previous meetings, or meeting, to approve the minutes of the meeting held on the 4th of October. Vicky or Colin, can you put it up, please? Or put them up, I should say. Okay. Okay, Vicky, up you go. Thank you. It's page 373. 374. Hold on a minute. What's that? Can you go down again, Vicky? I saw your initials there. Is it DS links to London boroughs where people
No.
come from could be used?
The item was to send me names for suggestions for the street naming.
Okay.
Vicky
Right.
to collate a list from councillors.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next page, please. Next page, please. One objection now, I noticed. Item 1. Next page, please. Is neutral. Next page, please. Item 7, object on that one. Next page, please. Councillor Brown?
That's the correct one. Your name is written as Hanlong on item 4, 40 High Street.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Vicky, you noted that, please?
Yes, I have, sorry.
That's right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Councillor Burns had his hand up.
Okay. Councillor Burns?
Only during that item about the street naming that I've asked the family history group, and they apparently have quite a few names available from the Rattings and all those areas that we don't know anything about, and they're collating them for Vicky.
Okay. Thank you very much. May I sign them as a true record? Could I have a proposer, please? Councillor Liz Smith. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Brown. All those in favour, please show. Thank you very much. Carried. Matters arising. I think we've covered them. Okay. Yeah. Item 7 for members of the public. Any members of the public? No.
No, Chair, there isn't anybody here.
Right. Thank you. Item 8 to consider planning applications to West Suffolk Council. There's no members of the public who wish to speak. Okay. Application 1, which is DC 22-1588 HH, small a, raising roof over garage with insertion of windows to front and rear first floor elevations. Small b, rear dormer and new window to enable attic conversion. Small c, single story rear extension. Attic conversion, first floor and attic extension. Open bracket with rear facing dormer, close bracket. Over the garage and single story extension to the rear. This is Mr. D. Van der Vault, 34 Osprey Road. Okay, any comments on this one at all? Councillor Brown?
Yes, thanks, Chair. Obviously, the next door neighbour's got some concerns around daylight issues, etc. The property is north. The gap is north sort of facing anyway, so I don't think it'd make it too much difference with the sunlight. It'll be coming around, obviously, from the east around south to the west, but it is very close, very, very close. I'm not sure if there's a bathroom window or ensuite window on the side of his house where the neighbouring extension's going, and you can't see that. I've looked on Google Street Scene. I think we need a little bit more information about exactly if there's a window adjacent to the extension, and also how the property would look in relation to next door, because it looks as if the next door property is a little bit lower, so it could be quite high compared to the existing roof level.
Okay. Is there any other comments at all? Councillor Brown, do you want to object on that, on them points, or?
I'd like more information. I'd like to see, there's no pictures there of it in relation, drawings in relation to the next door neighbour, and there's no information. The next door neighbour mentions that they've got an ensuite, etc., but you can't see it on Google Street Scene. So I'd like a little bit more information about that. I wouldn't like to object, but I'd just like to have a bit more information if possible.
Vicky?
I did actually request an extension to the consultation expiry date, which was the 12th. But I didn't hear back on that one, so we can ask for more information, but I don't know if we'll get it because it's out of time, but I will ask. Just to make you aware.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, where are we going for this one then? Councillor Smith?
Yeah, I think I agree with Councillor Brown that it's hard to see from the plans, and I looked at them earlier, about the impact on the other house. And obviously there are some objections from the neighbour. So I would agree with Tony that I think we need to do that. We need to get some extra information. Thank you.
So have you got the information that we need, Vicky?
I've written down what you've said.
Right, okay. Right, should we propose a neutral on this one, or should we just ask for more information without the neutral? Councillor Brown?
I personally would like to have a bit more information, in relation to next door. The impact on next door. If the architects or whatever could actually do a drawing of the house with the house next door, showing the levels, and could have a bit more information on the window on the side of the house. I didn't get a chance to look at this until this afternoon, and otherwise I would have nipped up there. But I can't see if there's a window on the side of the house. If there is, with that dormer going on there, it's really going to encroach on their light. Not direct sunlight, but just their ambient light.
Okay. Right, you got that, Vicky? Are you proposing that, Councillor Brown?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Councillor Brown propose. Can I have a second for that, please? Councillor Stitchcombe?
Chair, could I just not second that a moment, just to clarify, might it be safer to actually object on the grounds that we do not have sufficient information at the moment, rather than just ask for information, because the whole thing may just escape from us. Otherwise, it may get decided before we have a chance to object.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Councillor Brown?
Yeah, I'm happy for that. Yeah.
Okay. Councillor.
I will second then.
Right. Okay. Councillor Liz Smith, did you want to say something?
No, it's only that I was going to second it as well.
Okay. Right. Thank you. Right. All those in favour, please show. Yeah, that's everyone. Thank you. Application 2, DC 22 1636 HH, small a, installation of a new window to first floor of side elevation. Small b, single story rear extension. Small c, 2-story rear extension. And this is Mr. Alex Coleman, 70 Burton End. Have we got any comments on this one at all? No? Can I have a proposer for neutral then, please? Councillor Liz Smith. Can I have a seconder for neutral, please? Councillor Dave Smith. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Application 3, DC 22 0977 FUL. Reconsultation, extension and improvements to pedestrian access. And this is Haverhill Housing, 1 to 4 Clements Lane. I've seen that they've changed it. There's no parking now to what there was. I think we objected on the parking area. Is there any comments at all on this one? No? Can I have a proposer for neutral then, please? I propose neutral. Oh, seconded by Councillor Dave Smith. All those in favour, please show. Yep, that's carried. Application 4, DC 22 1656 ADV, internal illuminated media charger with screen media charger unit. And this is Mr. Andy Horwood, Tesco Stores Limited, Kangle Road. This is retrospective, by the way. Okay. Can we have a neutral then on this one, unless anyone got any other comments at all? Right, can we have a neutral then, please? Councillor Brown propose, and Councillor Dave Smith second. All those in favour, please show. Carried. Thank you. Application 5, which is DC 22 1571 HH, and this is small a, solar panels to front elevation. Small b, enlargement of dormer on front elevation. Small c, port enlargements, sorry. Small d, new window and door to rear elevation. And this is Mr. Philip Jordan, 7 Bryony Close. Haven't we already commented on this? I noticed on the planning application. Why was it brought back, Vicky? Do you know?
It says on the planning application, the changes are available to view in the planning section of our website. I don't know what the changes are.
No, nor do I. Does anyone know what the changes are? No? I don't know where we go from here then. Do we just leave it and say that we've already commented on it? We don't know what the changes are? Or should we just, you know, send it back and say, can you highlight the changes? Should we do that way? Councillor Brown?
Yeah, I'd like to propose that we ask them to let us know what the changes are. We can't comment on something without knowing what the changes are.
Quite right. Yeah.
It just says amended proposal description.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more information. We need what the changes are, definitely.
Yeah. It's gobbledygook. Residents are supposed to read this and understand it, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, is that Councillor Burns?
I think, like the one at they've misdescribed Les Ager Drive later on in the agenda. I think this is another one of those ones which was misdescribed in the first instance and it's being corrected. But to do that, they have to go out for reconsultation if they've already had consultee comments come in already.
Yeah,
I don't think there's been any physical changes. I looked at it when I downloaded all the files yesterday. I couldn't see any differences.
Councillor Brown?
but surely they should explain, as I said, it's supposed to be there for residents to understand. They should put a note on there to say exactly that. But
laziness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right. Councillor Dave Smith and then Councillor Creaney.
Yeah, this did confuse me earlier because when I looked at it, I couldn't understand because there wasn't any more documents there since our previous comments, so I didn't know what we were actually commenting on. But it's just a change of the description. I just propose we stick with our previous neutral.
Councillor Brown.
But we're only guessing that's what it means. We should, they should really explain exactly what the difference is and let it come back. There may be another difference we haven't spotted.
Councillor Creaney, sorry, I went back to Councillor Brown because I think he was going to have a sort of a reply to what Councillor Smith said. So that's why I went to Councillor Brown. Sorry, Councillor Creaney.
The only change is no new documents. The only change is that previously it said D, new window and door to rear elevation, and it now says D, new window and door to side elevation. That's the only change.
Right, thank you for that. You spotted it. Councillor Brown, any comment on that then?
I'll stick to what I said earlier, to be fair. Okay,
right. So Councillor Brown saying we proposing that we ask for more information because it should be stated. I know Councillor Creaney's got them both together, but would the people in the neighbours or whatever, would they sort of look at both? That's the thing. So you can't expect people to look at two planning applications. Right, Councillor Brown has proposed that we send it back. Can I have a seconder for that then, please? More information. Councillor Stitchem. All those in favour, please show. Okay, right, thank you. Vicky?
If it turns out it is just the description, are you happy for me to take that as a neutral again? Because otherwise, if we take it to the next meeting, it will be out of time.
I see you're nodding, Councillor Brown. Do you
But if you could emphasise the fact when they make these small changes or whatever, if they could actually put a note on there to say what they're changing, so that people, if it was a document, relating to Northwest Haverhill or something like that, where there's hundreds and hundreds of documents, just because they make a small little change, they expect people to possibly, have to try and read through every document to find out. If they make these changes, they should put a note where the change is. It's only courtesy.
Right. Right.
Just to point out, in the next application, they have listed the changes, so it might just be that is the case, but that's fine. I'll do that.
Right. Thank you. And is it all right for Nikki to neutral it when it comes back? Yeah. Councillor Brown and everyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Right. Item 6. This is DC 22 1313 HH. Reconsultation. 5 apartments following demolition of existing building. And this is Mr. R. Oakley, Onions Yard, Developments Limited, SR Builders, Station Road. Any comments on this one? Because I've noticed that they've changed it to when we last commented. They've put the bins at the front and cycle storage instead of parking. And I think Suffolk County Council Highways have said okay to that. Okay, any comments at all? Oh, Councillor Dave Smith.
I think part of our objections were to the parking. I mean, I don't think they've addressed that. The number of dwellings on this site now, there isn't adequate parking. I think that's the main thing. It just seems like a bit of a cosmetic change to me, and I think our previous objections still hold true.
Okay. Any other comments? Councillor Burns and then Councillor Brown.
Only I still think, personally, I think it's over development of the site and the parking issues. We all know what the problems are around Station Road there with parking on the Pytel, and and CPE not, they keep moaning the fact they can't enforce it because there's no doubling the lines when there is actually a traffic regulation order on that entire area. And all we're going to do is, even if they've been allocated one parking space in that little area that Tesco's provided for them all those years ago, where the other 4 people are going to park? Oh, we're living in the town centre. We're not going to have to travel anywhere. It's a fallacy. It just annoys me when highways don't even think about that. They're not concerned. All they're saying is, oh, well, it's a town centre, it must be sustainable. As we've said many times before, we don't have a railway station, we'd have a rubbish bus service, I'm going to repeat myself over and over again on this one. And I just get so frustrated with officers at these big councils just not caring. They're 50 odd mile away, probably never visited the site. What do they know about it? Thank you.
Councillor Brown.
Yeah, I was just going to say on the, to be fair, I'm quite happy with the design and everything else. I think they've tried hard. It's a difficult site. It is a bit of an eyesore these days, but the parking issue hasn't been resolved, and I'd agree with what John has said. There isn't a railway station. We haven't got sustainable links, so most of those people will have cars, and it's going to impinge on the other poor people that already live there.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because I walked past the pub there, Woolpack, and you just can't get through it. I have to squeeze through, and I'm not a very big person, and anyone with a pushchair, it's impossible. They'd have to go out into that road, and the council junction is a nightmare for them to get round, so they can cross the road. It's just disgusting, the amount of cars that park in that area. It really is. And if you add to it with with more cars, it's just going to be a nightmare. It really is. Right. So where do we go from here? Did we object on that? I can't remember now. On our last one, we did, didn't we? Should we object then on them grounds? Over development and lack of parking spaces? Councillor Dave Smith?
Yeah, the bin store issue apparently been resolved, but it still hasn't resolved the overdevelopment and the parking. So I think that's the two things we should be objecting on.
Okay. Right, can I have a proposal for that then, please? Councillor Dave Smith, can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Liz Smith, all those in favour, please show. Yep, that's everyone. Right, thank you. The next one is application 7, DC 22 1719 FUL, change of use for car sales through sui generis to self-storage, open bracket B8, close bracket, small a, extensions and alterations to existing building, small b, vehicular cycle parking and landscaping, and this is Cinch, self-storage, Arriva Vauxhall, Dudley Hill commercial solar panels. Oh, that's me. Sorry, it's my wording. Right, Councillor Burns, and then Councillor Dave Smith.
Yeah, just to let you know, I'm not on this committee, obviously. This is next door to my business, and they have sent me these plans prior to going on the portal, but I've not commented on it. I've not viewed them. They've gone to the manager of my business. Just to let you know.
Thank you. Councillor Dave Smith.
Yeah, they're basically knocking down what's there at the moment and putting a 3-storey building up. It seems to be, and it according to the plans, that's the way I read it anyway.
Yeah,
3 levels of car parking. It's going to be huge compared with the houses next door and across the road. Yeah, I just think it's too big. It's too big for the site, and too near to the residents. It would be much better if they just bought a unit on Rookwood Way or something like that. You know, it just seems the wrong. I know it's a designated industrial area, that site, but I just think it's just too big. I'm repeating myself now.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a thing on solar panels. I've noticed there's no solar panels there, and also if it's a 24/7 business, which I don't know. I tried to find it and I couldn't see whether it was 24/7 or hours or anything on there. But if it is, then it needs a battery as well. You know, we should start thinking in Haverhill that any new building, business building, should have solar panels and batteries really to make it sustainable. Okay, right, Councillor Smith, you proposing anything to objection because of what you said? Oh, Councillor Brown, do you want to speak?
Yeah, please. Yeah, I do think it's a little bit high, but looking at the drawings, etc., it does fit in with the slope of the hill with the houses next door. Around Busy, I mean, it used to even have a petrol station. I can remember when it had a petrol station, as well as obviously car sales. So it's always been, you know, up until the last 2 or 3 years, since it's been closed, it's always been, you know, quite busy there. It is on an industrial site. You know, I am worried that site has stayed, you know, empty for, you know, 2 to 3 years. I can't remember exactly how long. So I'm quite happy to see something go there. The building itself is vanilla. It's just an industrial square building. It seems to blend in with the industrial estate. You know, it's jobs. I'd rather it was small units, but that's my thing. So, but it isn't. But yeah, I think, you know, personally neutral.
Okay. Any other comments, Councillor Burns?
If I may, I believe, and I can't remember because I've not read any of the documents, to be honest with you, that when he first brought this up, this is actually not knocking the existing building down. This is actually to extend the existing building. The infrastructure of the building itself, as you see it now, I believe is going to remain. It's just going to be extended and go up a bit, not knock it down, just to confirm.
Oh, looking at the photos, it seems like a completely new building to me, unless I'm wrong. Is there any other comments at all on this, whether it's new or old or extension? Still a three-story building, whatever happens.
Yeah.
But you know, even if it's extension, there still should be solar panels on there and batteries as well.
Right.
Battery storage.
Can you get the elevations up, Colin? Can you, please, or Vicky?
Councillor Creaney.
Yeah, the planning statement suggests that it is an extension. What's it now? It goes on about it's alteration and an extension.
Thank you for that. Councillor Dave Smith.
Surely an extension shouldn't be bigger than the subservient or that the existing building. It's not an extension if it's 4 times the size of the buildings there at the moment. But when I look at it, it definitely looks to me as if it's completely replacing what's there.
Yeah, it does to me. It seems like it's completely new build. Councillor Burns.
Okay, I've just found the planning statement. In summary, the application proposals involve the change of use of the existing facility from sui generis, which basically means anything other than what's a class, to class B8 self-storage use. Alterations to the existing building, including recladding of the rear elevation, lateral and vertical extensions to the existing building to create a new building arranged over ground first and second floors. The first and second floors would be constructed as mezzanines, and then closure of the eastern vehicular access on Dudley Hill, a retention of the western egress point on Dudley Hill and the single point on Hollands Road, and landscaping to the boundaries of the site. So it's basically they just want to extend the building and go up a bit. That's what I'm reading that.
Colin, I've got the elevations if you want me to put them up.
Yes, please.
That's happy with that.
You can do. I was looking for 2 comparative ones.
Can you see them?
Yeah. Is that the houses opposite?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Ah, yeah, you can see
that's existing now.
Yeah, that's the existing one. Yeah, that's not the new one. Can't be.
It's on the design and access, I think. Design.
I can put up the before and after pictures if you want. So that is before. So that's the existing south elevation. And that's the proposed south elevation.
That looks like a complete new build to me. So is it going to encompass that old building then? I might be wrong, but it definitely.
I think it's hidden
like
inside, Pat.
Right.
That's what's
strange.
That's what they're storing inside it.
What it says is lateral extension. So the existing building will be on one, if you like, 2 sides of that building, and then they're going to extend either direction.
Do you want me to bring up some plan views?
Can you do the second one first before you do that, Colin? Can you swap back to the other one, because I wanted to see at the skyline again? Oh yeah, it's still, it's sort of, yeah, it reaches the top, doesn't it? There's no windows at the top that can overlook the houses opposite, is there? I shouldn't think. They seem to like they're on the same level, aren't they? Okay, Colin.
So if we look at the existing site plan, and then if I use the other one and go back and put up the proposed site plan, right, so let's try and flick between those.
Yeah. Oh, they're making it much wider as well, aren't they?
So it looks like the middle section there might be, well, a little bit like the middle, the bit that's there already.
Yeah, and it's completely new roofing, the whole right the way across. So they should be thinking of solar panels and batteries for that. And Colin, any idea about the times that they will be using it? Just for the battery side of it, really. Is there anything? Because I couldn't find anything on that.
Well, it should be in the application. Oh, is that it? Is that his total number of documents?
Yeah. Never mind. Just still put batteries in there because you can use the batteries during the day. Right, okay. Right, where do we go from here? Councillor Brown?
Yeah, I personally like to propose neutral, but ask them if they could put solar panels on. I think it'd be in their best interest to do that anyway. Yeah, I propose neutral, to be fair.
Councillor Creaney?
Yeah, I'll happily second that.
Okay, right. I'll take that proposal. Can I have a show of hands, please? Yeah, anyone against? I'm against, right. It's carried, thank you. Item 8, which is DC 22-1735, TPO 376, 2004. Tree preservation order, 2 beech, open bracket 1 and 5 on plan, T1 and T2 on order, close bracket. Overall crown reduction by up to 4 meters and crown lift up to 8 meters above ground level. And this is Daniel Jupp, 46 Beaumont Court. Any comments on this one? No. Can I have a neutral, please? Proposer for neutral. Councillor Liz Smith, can I have a second, please? Councillor Luccarini, all those in favour, please show. Carried, thank you. And last but not least, application 9, DC 22-1705, TCA. This is 2 Sycamore, open bracket, LSE 0187 and LSE 0188 on plan, and these both to be fell. This is Riverside Kangle Junction. Any comment? Oh, Councillor Dave Smith.
Yeah, normally I'd be ejector felling, but these seem to be a couple of stray trees that have sprung up. So if I'm reading the plans correctly, I'll stand to be corrected. But yeah, I think they're just trees that haven't been planted there; they've just grown. So if that's the case, then I'll just I'll propose neutral.
Thank you for that. Okay, yeah, there are sycamore trees. Okay, can we have a second for that, please? Councillor Luccarini. Okay, all those in favour, please show. Yep, it's carried. Thank you very much. Back to the agenda. This is item 10, which is matters to report. Anyone? No? No? Ah, Councillor Burns.
Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. Right, I reported problems with parking up at New Croft. West Suffolk have come back today with saying, oh, we've been up there several times and we've been managing it and everything. But of course, they're not getting to the underlying root cause of the problem, which is parking on the grass verges. There were 81 vehicles parked on the verges within the double yellow lines, all of which were liable for tickets on Saturday. But they keep reporting this visits, which we all know visits means actually doesn't really mean visits. It actually means parts of double yellow lines. You know, it could be as long as, you know, a couple of feet long or a couple of miles long. So, you know, they keep coming with sort of not excuses, that's the wrong word, but explanations, but nobody's getting to the root cause. The same problem with Strasbourg Square and the parking. They sent me an email the other day saying, oh, there's no problem with the parking. And here's the photographs. And when I looked at them, they were pictures from Google Street View 4 years ago, before CPE ever came into force. And we all know that the problem with parking, you know, in like places like Strasbourg Square is because of the fact that they've been forced off Millfields Way, the residents, and they're now all parking there. And down whatever the name of that road is, Ingham Road, is it, next door? So there's a general problem, but I keep getting answers from CPE as if it's their problem, but there's a root cause that nobody at West Suffolk seems to grab hold of. So this time I copied it to the chief executive, hoping somebody might actually do something, but I don't think it's going to happen again. Still no news on the Vixen, talking about Strasbourg Square. Still no news on the Fox Public House either. We're still waiting for the, you know, to be knocked down and made into a nice family-friendly restaurant, which would be lovely. I think that's all at the moment. There are a couple of other things, but I don't think I can remember. I'm sorry about that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other matters to report? No? Right, thank you. Item 11, date of next meeting, which is the 1st of November. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for attending, and I'll see you on the 1st.